Hello everyone, welcome to the Faerie Witch vlog. I'm the Faerie Witch. Today is going to be maybe a little bit longer episode than normal, maybe, depending on how long I go. But I thought I would do some studio time with you. So I'm going to be in here working on a couple different projects, and I thought you might be interested in seeing me actually do some artwork. So there will be some knitting. There's going to be maybe some work on one of the paintings. I'm probably going to do a little bit on a newer piece. And I might actually try to tackle some of the quilt. So I just thought you might be interested. Feel free to put on some background music on your end if you would like. Grab a project of your own and you can work with me. I won't be talking the entire time through the video like normal. I will be taking breaks because once I get in mode, I might just focus. But I will occasionally come back on the audio and tell you what's going on or what I did. So I hope you'll find this episode stimulating, inspirational, if nothing else. It should be nice and relaxing. Feel free to grab a book if you'd rather do that, write a poem, whatever works for you. This is the time for all of us art witches, fairy witches, to be creative. And I just thought I'm finally in mode. I mean, it's kind of chilly outside, even though the sun's out. It looks really pretty, but we're like the fourth day of November, and it's starting to get cold. And I really should be out there working on the garden, which is a disaster. But I just with my health issues, I just don't feel like tackling it right now. But let's get something done, right? I want to feel productive today. So I'm going to work on some projects. And I thought you'd be interested in working on something with me or just watching the process. So again, I will have some background sounds on my end. I don't know if it will be recorded on the computer. It might not be loud enough, whatever. So feel free to put on something in your background and let's get to work because I'm the Fairy Witch. You never know what you're going to get. And so let's sprinkle a little fairy dust and see what I can conjure up today. So I think I'm going to start doing some work on my fairy doll that I designed. This is my latest, and she's going to be the Christmas present for a really good friend of mine from my fairy godmother. So I haven't been working on her enough. If you see my past vlogs, you know that I had shown it, I had started it, and I still haven't finished her. So let's see here. I've got the head and torso started, and that part's done. And I got the arms and the legs. I got a stuff, stitch, and attach. So maybe I'll do that because I've got all the body parts, I think, done. The rest of it would have to be the dress and everything, and that's going to take a while. So why don't I go ahead and do that with you guys today and see how much of the body attaching I can do, and we'll go from there. Okay. So this I got my doll stuffing. Okay, let's see what we can conjure up. And plus, too, while I'm doing this, I may not be verbalizing it, but I am going to be doing my knitting spell at the same time. So that way, I'm still kind of working my magic with the craft. So, alright, so I've got a leg here, 2 legs. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to get those stuffed. Okay, my 2 legs I think are stuffed fairly well. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch them. Okay, so I'm gonna stitch them closed. Now the next step is to attach them to the torso, to the body. And this always takes concentration. I've got to focus on what I'm doing because I don't want the legs to be crooked or really off the mark. But I have to do it by sight. I can't mark it ahead of time. Oh, come on, get in there. Come on. Sometimes the needle just doesn't want to go through. Ah, I just use a little tapestry needle, and this works really well to do the seams. It's a lot of seam work in these dolls. Like I've said before, these dolls are made from my own pattern that I created, and they can take me anywhere from 5 to 6 to 10 weeks to make one. So that's almost 2 months, sometimes longer. Depends on how elaborate I want to get. Depends on how big the design is. I have one leg. Now on with the second one. There might not be enough tail though. Might not be enough. I don't have enough yarn tail to stitch it, so I'm gonna have to give it a new one. Okay. Okay, they've got legs. Yay. Yeah, so we have the legs on there, so that's the next step. Now I gotta do the arms. Get the little arms. Okay, so I got one arm stitched. On to the next one. Okay, so both arms are now stitched. I just gotta attach them. And this one is always the tricky part because I always try to match the arms on each side, and sometimes that works out, other times it doesn't. And I have to decide, do I want the arms to go up and down so they would be in this position on the body, or do I want them to go sideways and then that way either go like this. So I have to decide here. Did I draw it? Okay, so since I think I'm going to have her hold something, some candies or something, I'm going to have to position the arms to go this way. So that means yeah, so we'll have to go this way. Okay, one arm's on. So the idea is I'm going to have both arms come together and they're going to hold a little something. So I had to position the arms in that way so that they would fold into each other. Now the second one. Okay, almost there. Okay, so she's now got the two arms. Yay! And they fold in together. Okay, yeah, she's finally coming alive. She's alive. She's alive. No, not just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, so I think the next thing I've got are the little ears. And these are always tricky too, because you got to try to get them as close to being accurate as possible. And that's always a trick. Okay. Alright, so she's got the two pointed ears. Okay, so our fairy doll is finally built. I gotta do the nose. Gotta do the bubble nose. And I gotta stitch in the face. Gotta do hair. And I gotta do the outfit. So, yeah. Still a lot more work, and the booties. So there's still a lot of work to do on her. But at least I finally got her put together. So that's a start. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's all I'll do with her today. Let's move on to the next project. So this other project is one that I've already started. In fact, I actually thought I finished it in 2018, according to the date on the canvas. But this is a painting I did, and I'm kind of thinking I want to change it because I'm not completely happy with it. So this is one of my paintings. It's acrylics on black stretched canvas. And for those of you who are not familiar with stretched canvas, stretched is you get the canvas and it's pulled and stapled onto a wooden background or wooden frame. So that's what we artists call stretched canvas, if you're ever wondering. And I titled this one Blueberry and the Fairy. And the cat is done in black, white, and blue paint. Then you got the big blueberries down here, and we've got the fairy up at the top. I'm kind of thinking I want to change this or add to it. I don't really want to take away. I want to add to it somehow. So this is going to take a fix. I'm kind of thinking I want to add some fabric and some yarn to it. I'm just trying to decide what color. Do I want to stay with the blue or do I want to introduce something new? And where would I place it? I'm just using some white chalk and just going to draw out where I want to change things. Because then I can always take a white cloth and wipe it off. Okay, so far I've just drawn a line at the bottom, on the side, and on the top to make borders just on 3 sides. And I'm thinking I'm going to do fabric. And I've got a couple of choices here in my stash. I just have to decide, do I want the velvet or do I want the print? Actually, there's 2 different prints I could use, which would be cool. But one has red in it, and it's pretty. But it would introduce red into it. I'm not sure I want to go that way. I like the red and blue idea, but red is a natural color to draw our attention. If I put red into this without balancing it out, then from then on, we're going to be detracted from the cat and the fairy. We'll be more focused on the border because your eye is just naturally gravitates toward the red. So I'd have to add more red into this so that it's a little more balanced, or just not use the red at all. Decisions. Okay, so these are my 3 choices. This is that beautiful crushed velvet, which is one of my favorite fabrics of all time. Or I've got this darker blue, which is in the blueberry family, and it's really pretty. And it's got like a tie-dye wavy pattern in it. Or I've got the blueberry print, where they're actually blueberries. Okay, I think the blueberry print is going to be too much. It's just going to be too busy, too distracting. So it's got to be one of these. This one seems to match the paint that I used a little bit better, but this one has got more of a darker hue. It's not as bright, and it kind of makes you look, really focus on it. So I'm kind of thinking, this one. So I need to cut it out into strips. I need to cut a couple of strips out of it, and then I will glue it on. And it's still going to need something else. I don't know what yet. It's still going to need some more work. Okay, so turn that off for a few minutes. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and use this blue fabric. But instead of cutting the strips, I think what I'm going to do is another technique that I've used before. And I'm going to cut the pieces. Just cut pieces out and glue it in. Kind of like a puzzle piece. And it takes longer to do it. But I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it in pieces. And then still make the border. And then I can decide what other elements I want to add. So I'm thinking maybe I can use my scrapbook paper, or I might knit something and add it on. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I need to cut a bunch of pieces and start gluing it on. And that takes a while to do. But I like the look. I like the way it looks. I like the effect. So So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I need to get a scissor and I need to start cutting. So first things first. Oops. Okay, so I just cut some strips and then I'm going to cut these pieces down and then I'm going to glue them on. And I don't want them to be perfect, so I don't need to cut them perfectly and get them, without rough edges or anything like that. I'm going to keep it rough. You just cut them into different size pieces. Okay. So I'm going to keep doing that, but I'll do that off camera. But I'm going to show you just how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to grab some glue. Okay. And then I'm just going to glue them on. Hopefully. Okay, so the bottom just needs to dry. So see, so I've added this blue fabric. There you go, you can see the light better. And I like it that it has the seams, that it looks rough. And so I'm going to do that on this side and on the top as well. And after that, then I got to figure out what else I want to add to it. And I don't know yet. So I will make that decision later. Oh, but I think that'll look good. That's going to add to it. And like I said, then I have to figure out what else. Okay. So in one of my recent episodes, if you've checked all those out, I think it was one of the vlog episodes, I mentioned I was going to work on this doll, and I want to turn her into, because she's a fairy doll that I did make. So she's got her wings, but I don't like the outfit so much. So, oh, and this is stuck. I don't like the outfit. I'm going to change it, and I want to make her more of a little fairy witch. So she'll be a decoration for my dark fairy days next year. But her hair is stuck on this, or the hat is stuck on her hair. Come on, get off of there. There we go. Okay. So I had this little hat for her. Little bell hat, little bell witch's hat. So I like that, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to give her a new one. So first things first, I need to get her out of the shirt. I'm probably going to keep the skirt, but I want to get rid of the shirt. And she needs cleaning up. Okay, these wings are glued on, so I'm going to have to trim them off because I want to reuse them. I have to trim off the rest of the yarn, but then I'm going to rewrap them because I'm going to change the color. So now comes the part of taking this top off. Now the sleeves, I might reuse the sleeves for another project altogether. So I'm going to try to salvage them. Okay, one's off. Okay, so I'm going to have to take that blue yarn off, but I'll do that later. She had a little horsey friend, so we'll save him. Okay, so I got the shirt. I just need to dismantle it. Without cutting the sleeves off. Aha. Okay, I got it off. Yay. Oops. Alright, I salvaged the sleeve. And then this can still be used for something. I can use it for one of my artwork pieces. so that gets the shirt off, and then I have to figure out what I'm going to replace it with. Um, I'm probably going to have to knit her something new, and I can't do that right this second. So I need to design a new shirt. And a new hat. Yeah. Okay, so I need to sketch out something. Let me think. Let me grab my sketch pad wherever I put it. And I need a marker. Oops. Yarn ball. Okay. Alright, so I named this doll Sherry a long time ago when I designed her. So we'll stick with that for now. Kind of thinking. I'm kind of thinking something similar to what I already had, but maybe do more like a hope you guys can see. Let's see. Good. Like I say, these sketches are just really gestural. They're meant to be really fast. They're not supposed to be beautiful and accurate. It's just to give me an idea of what I was thinking of doing. So, kind of thinking. And even though she's going to be a little fairy witch, you know, I still want the witch look. I still want kind of the witch idea. But we definitely want more of a fairy look. So instead of having the long sleeves and the long gown, I'm breaking it up because I want to keep the skirt. I really like this yarn. It's from Hobby Lobby, and I don't think you can get this yarn anymore. So I don't want to throw it away. I don't want to start over. And I like the coloring anyway, you know. It still says dark fairy with all that red and the little bit of blue and some purple. So it's really gorgeous. I want to hang on to it. And it feels great too. It's gorgeous. So I wish they'd get that back. But anyway, I'm thinking this kind of design, so that we've got just more like a tunic with the ruffled or kind of a cut wavy bottom, and then like some fairy cuffed sleeves. And I'll probably have to knit this piece, and this piece separately, and then attach them, stitch them together. So I'm kind of thinking that, and I have to decide what colorway I want to use, because the skirt is so busy, I don't have any more of it, and I want to figure out, do I want to go with standard black? Do I want to break it up in a couple of colors? I could do black with a little bit of maybe some of the red and purple, if I can match it. Yeah, it's a possibility. And then the hat, I want to go ahead and do the same kind of hat I did, but I'm going to make it bigger. So it kind of looks like a gnome hat at the moment, but I'm thinking if I knit this basic shape, then I can add to it, and I'll have the, I'll have the strands to go around the neck so it stays on. But I need to figure out what I want to do. I'm probably going to go with a black hat. Probably be black. But I'm going to use flowers and embellishments and little crystals and things. So we'll do, maybe flowers along the border. And I might just put little gems, little gemstones, possibly. That's simple, but I might go ahead and just do that. Or I might splatter with glitter. That would be cool if I had something to go with it. So, yeah. So it gives me an idea. And then I just got to decide on colorways and all that, and embellishments. But I think that's gives me an idea of what to do for her. Okay, so I just looked at the clock, and I've kept you guys for quite a while, but this has really helped me, and I appreciate it. Knowing that you were watching or listening at least, it helped motivate me to finally get some work done, at least get a plan so that I can keep going on from there. So probably my next video, which would be my regular vlog video, maybe some of these projects will be done and you'll actually get to see the finished product at that point. I hope so. And but I hope that this inspired you. I hope that you at least enjoyed working with me, whether you were reading or doing some of your own projects or whatever. Like I say, it helped me to know that you were possibly sitting there watching this, and it motivated me to finally focus a little bit more on the art. And like I say, hopefully I will continue this momentum for a couple of days and actually get some of this done. So I'll have finished projects next time, which would be terrific. So I thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, and if you haven't already, please do. I thank you subscribers who have already. And for new people, again, you never know what you're going to get, because I'm an artist, crafter, I'm a fairyologist, I'm a cat trainer, I'm a painter, sculptor, designer. We do baking. I raise sunflowers. We deal with all the kitties. You just never know what you're going to get. You never know what kind of episode I'm going to put on, and you don't know when because I never have a schedule. So, again, subscribe. That way you're aware. And I hope you'll find some videos that will be informative or fun or inspirational or all three. If you'd like to donate to our PayPal link, that would be fabulous. I am still without income. I don't have a job at the moment, still struggling, and we've got a lot that needs help around here. And I don't mean just simple things. I mean, we've got major house problems and major trouble trying to pay our utility bills. So if you would like to donate to us, I'd really appreciate it. There is a PayPal link on the channel right below our channel name. You click on it, takes you right to it. Just add a little note that you're sending a donation with whatever you want to give us. That would be so terrific. I thank you. And I thank a few of our supporters who've helped us. Cindy, I really thank you. You are wonderful as always. And we thank you so much for helping us with our recent bill issue. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if again, have a fairy day. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you in the next one, magical ones. Bye bye.